Árnason. Valbert skorar. Valbert Gunnarsson hefur skorað. Ragnar Bergjesson og skoðaðar. Glæsilega. Óskar Rafn á móti Bjarna. Og Bjarni með góða sendingu fyrir og það Andri Ingólfsson.
Hello and welcome back to the Best of Pod. Ever. I am Ragnar, and I'm joined as per usual by... Oh, God. The Tryggvi the Interrupter. We're so in sync, we finish each other's...
Ever.
There we go. Speaking of finished, we are going to discuss the football games that are finished.
Yeah.
But not the Finnish games, because that would not be an Icelandic podcast. Oh, God. Okay, anyway.
Speaking of I saw that Timo Pukki's HJK are not winning the league somehow in Finland. So that's...
What? I used to play for them. Fun fact for everyone here. In the hugely prestigious youth setup.
They're 5th place. I mean, the league has just started, so maybe they'll win.
Well, they're free to give me a call if they need some reinforcements. Bring back the winger, probably their most successful winger in club history, I would say. I find it very likely. Speaking of Finland, let's keep talking about the Icelandic feetballs. The games from round 7, as they say in Iceland, that we're going to talk about. I'll rattle off the results. Stop me if you've heard this before. Fram Vestri, to my insane disappointment, Fram walk away with a with a win there. 1-0. IBF Káa 0-0. Afturhalding KR 4-3 to Afturhalding. Breiðablik Valur 2-1 to Breiðablik. Stjarnan Víkingur 2-2 and IA lost 1-3 to FH. Do we want to go over what we sort of predicted? Do we throw out any sort of quick-ass predictions, as they say? I feel like when I was talking about the upcoming games, I sort of gave a very, very cursory overview of what I thought about the games. I probably would have said that Vestri were going to win this game. IBF Káa, I probably would have handed it to IBF, given how well they performed the week before in the cup. Afturhalding KR, I really would have hoped for a KR bounce back there. Bounce back from the cup. Breiðablik Valur, yeah, we are of the opinion that Valur are mid AF, as the kids say. Both IRL and XG. So this was no surprise. Stjarnan Víkingur 2-2, that is kind of surprising. Right? Would have expected Víkingur to do a little bit more there. And then IAFO, I mean, bah. We said, what did we say? What was the awesome line that people have been quoting globally? Whether XG is king or the B will sting. I guess XG stung this time round. Yeah, I mean, any major talking points? I guess we could go with the Valur Breiðablik thing, right? If we want to start with something. Valur are a real grumpy little boys, or let's not say that. Some people are upset about the foul that was called just before their scored goal, with people going so far as to say that the referee is just refereeing based on what he thinks may have happened. Then you watch what actually happened, and it's the most clear-cut foul I've possibly seen in my life.
Yeah, I think so. Holmar scored would have been an equalizer, and then there was a foul, and there was a huge outcry about it wasn't that big of a foul, and but then the subsequent
forensic analysis.
Exactly, forensic analysis. They zoomed in and enhanced, and it was a clear foul leading up, not right before, but like a few seconds before.
Yeah,
Holmar just knocks into someone. So it's a foul, and But yeah, obviously, because some people need something to talk about, then, and to be honest, I think some of these people are trying to.
Yeah, there's no way that you have seen it and understand anything about the sport and don't consider this a foul. Like, it has to be on purpose. Like, we have to give them the sort of cognitive benefit of the doubt here and say that they're doing this as rage bait, one might say, because that's just ridiculous. It's absolutely a foul. Otherwise, I will eat my hat.
Yeah, and the referee's right there as well. So yeah, I don't see how this is. No, I mean, if the referee comes out and says I did it because I didn't want Fowler to win, then we can talk about something. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what he would have been judging it on otherwise. Like
exactly.
Like, why would he be calling it a foul if he didn't see this?
Yeah, it makes no sense. So that's cut and dry. Let's not even entertain this notion anymore. But another foul that we, I guess, will entertain the concept of. Are we going to sound bitter? I don't know. Sigurður Breki fouled, absolutely fouled, by Þórður Gunnar Hafþórsson. And Afturelding broke his collarbone. Seen the replay there a couple of times, and I mean, is it worth like discussing much more? Like, what are you gonna do more than this? But like, it is absolutely a foul.
Yeah, it's probably not. I think it's a bit of, we can allow ourselves to be bitter for a little bit. I mean, Coward have a lot of injuries. People saying they can't defend, which they can't really defend, but they're also missing Julius Maur from an injury. They're missing, they keep missing a lot of players coming in and out of the team, and so it's not helping. And then it was more just like this kid comes onto the pitch trying to save the game for Coward, and then someone just sort of checks him into the ground. It's not really like I'm not saying this guy should be thrown out of football, or even it's a yellow card at absolute most. It's just, it was just annoying. I think it was one of those games where after I think responded super well to going 2-0 down. I mean, it was 2-0 to Coward, and it just looked so like they were just going to saunter this win home. It looked like it was going to get super ugly for after I think, but they came back and battled to 2-2, went down 3-2, and then they even managed to battle it back to 4-3. And you have to have a little bit of, I think you have to have a little bit of sort of aggression in doing that, especially at home. They set a new record for their home stadium, which has an interesting name. Malbygdstöðin Alvarmo.
Malbygdstöðin, yeah. The concrete station.
I don't know. It sounds almost Faroese. 1,180 fans met up to watch this great win, and like what looked like to be like 30 degrees Icelandic weather, which is 20 degrees everywhere else in the world. But yeah, it's a summer day, summer evening. I think when you have these sort of fans behind you, you can see the blood, you can see a bit of chance. I think you need a bit of aggression. So unfortunately, this was just our team that had to suffer.
I mean, this
time around,
the fans probably played a decent role in this sort of comeback. I mean, you're down 2-0 and you end up winning 4-3 at home. I don't think it's necessarily a coincidence that you beat your previous attendance record by like over 20%. 1,200 people in a 700 capacity stadium. That probably played a hell of a role. The 12th man.
Yeah, for sure. And they've done really well at home. They have what's exactly their home record? Yeah, their home record have them second in the league. 3 wins and 1 draw, so it's they're going to have to keep hold of this sort of record, because their away record is not it's 3 losses and 0 goals scored.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have an awesome home record and a terrible away record, probably still going to stay up.
Yeah, I mean, if Ia and Kau'a keep playing like this, then they probably will.
Yeah, speaking of Ia and Kau'a, I mean, Kau'a grinding out a 0-0 against EBF. I mean, we say we expected EBF to win this, but it was always going to be a bit of a coin toss there. But maybe still disappointing for EBF when Kau'a are really not showing very much in any capacity. We discussed this last week. Not sort of in reality nor in the stats are they showing any capability of winning games. EBF are probably going to be this is the sort of game that if you're, pseudo battling relegation, you need to win these sorts of games, right, against your relegation rivals.
Yeah, but they're also missing a few people. They were missing their captain, Alex Ferreira, and Omar So. Yeah, Omar So didn't play either. So, that's already quite a blood loss, as you call it in some languages.
Yeah.
So it's I think they'll take that draw. I think they'll be disappointed, given that like you said, the way Kawa are playing. I think with the people missing and with all these games they've been playing, I think a point is probably okay. But yeah, Kawa. Yeah, like we talked about last week a little bit. Their attitude doesn't look super. Also, the manager is coming out with these headlines of that the media is trying to lie, and this is the media is against them and people are against them, and it's we're actually playing pretty well. He's very happy with his team, and he started like this last year as well, and we're fine and whatever. While the manager is more like, yeah, we know we're in trouble. We gotta fix this. We need more. We need more better attitude. We need more effort. I don't know what the better approach is. Whether you just go us against the world or whether you go.
Yeah, it's hard to.
Yeah, we suck.
It's hard to say. I mean, if you think of them as sort of plays, then it makes a little more sense. It's hard to justify being the Kawa sort of public representative and claiming that you're not playing badly, given all the stats and stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's a way to look at it very selectively and say that you're performing it to the standards that you're setting. Maybe it's a sort of self-preservation thing. Maybe it is a play us against the world, Jose Mourinho type masterclass. I don't know, but it is also like, I don't know. As a fan, I would prefer the IA way, because I remember back in the day being an Everton fan under Roberto Martinez, for example. It would infuriate me every single week playing awfully and then hearing him say how we were tremendous and how everything was so good, played so well, happened to lose by loads to a bad team. I don't know. As a Kawa fan, I don't think I would enjoy this.
No, I don't think there's much to enjoy right now, especially if they're out of the cup now. It's very hard to see what sort of enjoyment they have. I mean, they're home again now against Bestadeildin. So if they're the first team to give Bestadeildin points away from home, then I think they can say they're officially in trouble. But maybe they can get the 3 points there, and then it's such a tight league. Like if they get 3 points, they're above FV for a little bit.
If they get 3 points, and the other teams in the bottom half of the table do poorly, they're almost in the top half.
Yeah. It's
fighting for Champions League.
1 point behind Valor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you never know what could happen. There's plenty of time to turn this around, but it's just what we talked about last week. If the stats are indicating that they're not going to turn this around, but maybe this is his attempt to sort of, we are good, look, and then maybe you can secret your way to being good.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's give it a few more weeks, but yeah, I mean the stats were also against being good. Like you said, it was a bit of a shock that they drew against Stjarnan. I think it was a shock to most people also in the game, being good going ahead. And yeah, Stjarnan are not a terrible team, but they've had a rough start to the season. But yeah, whatever that gets with inspiring another comeback, and he probably would get another star. But we're pretty sure we gave him a star this season, so we decided not to give him a star too soon again. But he's dragging this team along. But yeah, in terms of the stats, like Vikingur had a 6.1 xG in this game.
Yeah,
they need to do better.
Yeah, absolutely. A 6.1 xG and converting 2. It's not the best. Maybe someone wants to crunch the numbers on that to show me some stats on that happening. But it's not good in any case. What was Stjarnan's xG in this game? Do we know?
Yeah, Stjarnan's was 1.34. So this is I mean, this for people who play Football Manager, this is a very classic Football Manager game. This is where you just have all the chances and all the ball, and then somehow you lose the points.
Yeah, I mean this happens. It's what makes it is what makes football a better sport than the other sports. I think it's specifically this, because when you have these like very high scoring sports, everything kind of tends towards the higher XG basically coming to fruition, right? Whereas that's not the case here. When you only have like numbers like 6, which is considered a lot, then things can swing. That's why we love it. But as the coach there, you can't be happy with that sort of thing. Drawing 2-2 in a 6v1, roughly 6v2 game in the stats. It's not good enough.
Also, because they could have lost. They only equalized in the 82nd minute. Yeah, no, it's a little bit insane that they haven't done better. And there's a lot of rumors linking them to Bestadeildin from Sweden. There's also rumors about the people that are there. Robert Orri came in from MLS in Norway. And then now he's not. He was injured in the beginning of the season, but he's not playing. And that's someone who, in theory, could shore up their defense and prevent one of those 2 goals from going in.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they need to necessarily You would be tempted to look at a game like this and say they have a misfiring attack, time to fix that. But over the course of the season, that's not the case.
No, exactly. And if you're creating the chances, I think that's the main thing. Like we talked about last week, that if you're creating chances and you're not conceding that many chances, and you're just sort of over or underperforming in those things. Like you said, it will even out at some point if you continue playing like that. It's just it is not a long league, and then now they're already 2 points behind Breiðablik, and Breiðablik aren't. I watched that game against Valur. They looked better than Valur, but they were 1-0 down after a few minutes. They do struggle they've only scored 13 goals from 7 games, and 3 of those goals came in a 3-3 draw with Kauer. So choose to ignore those 3 and say they've scored 10 goals in games they've won or lost. It's not a huge amount of goals. I feel like they're being bailed out a little bit by individual brilliance. I don't know. They're a really good team, but I think they're maybe the other side of being good. I think they are scoring. Creating a lot of chances and not scoring maybe enough, but scoring enough. They're scoring enough, but just about.
Yeah.
And that's it's these fine margins at the top. I think between these 2 teams that we've seen over the last few years, you can't really fall that far behind. But yeah, no, I agree. I don't think it's time to panic at all.
No, not after. They're still sitting pretty in second place. But what about IA? We haven't really spoken about them.
Yeah, we did a poll on Spotify, so if anyone who's not answering the polls on Spotify, go check it out. It hasn't officially closed yet. I think we still have, so we could, if you go on Spotify now and go to the last episode, you could swing these votes. But right now the favorites to go down are Kawa and IA, and Afturhelding actually. Yeah, that's Afturhelding. Yeah, sorry.
And Afturhelding, yeah, it's a pretty even split among those 3, and then some people saying FH. But no one really considering Fram IBVF or Stjarnan.
No.
Fair enough. Maybe IBVF, I don't know, they could be considered there, but Fram and Stjarnan, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. But yeah, I think they're in trouble. People have touched on the same things we've touched on last week with the goalkeeper, Arni Marino. I think he isn't all of a sudden a bad goalkeeper, but he is struggling. Some of the players were saying that they deserved more against FV, but I don't know. I don't think they created that much. They're not really creating enough, and they're conceding too many goals. I'm not really sure how to fix this, because they lost a huge creator of the goals last season, and yeah, they don't have the biggest squad in the world either. It's hard to see how they get out of this.
They clearly need to shore up at the back just by... it screams at you if you just look at the league table and you see their goals 4. They've scored 7 and they've shipped 18. They have the worst goal difference in the league. In second place is Kawa with a -9, IA with a -11. They're just... it's 7 games to concede 18 goals. You're almost on 3 goals per game. And you're scoring about 1. It's not all on the goalkeeper. You can't. He's not fumbling every single shot into the back of the net. So yeah, I think that's just what you would have to do for the rest of the season here, is just to try to play, to tighten things up at the back and try to go for, try to grind out some 0-0 draws here or some 1-0 victories. Is the only real solution I would see here if you had to take over a team like this.
Yeah, at least Victor is scoring now. Victor Jonsson, he has 4 goals, so that's the positive that he has gotten going. So there is, he can continue to score. He will continue to score if he's given the opportunities. But if you look at their next 3 games, away at Vikingur on Saturday, away at Breiðablik, at home against IBVF, and then away against Afturhelding. Like that, there's a non-zero chance that they have like a maximum of 3 points from the next 4 games.
Yeah, but then it's smooth sailing from then on.
Yeah, it's then it's Stjarnan at home, Vestri away. We're in July that where they face Fram at home.
Yeah,
like again, there's a world where they maybe have 3 or 4 points in the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, but these are the next 6 weeks where you could theoretically, you're up against the big boys. You could just say, okay, we're gonna, just lock it down, try to play some real grindy, horrible football for a couple of weeks, just to try to squeeze out some points here and there. That's what I would be going for. But I don't know, play some, 5 at the back type stuff. Just absolutely kill the game, make it not fun for anyone involved. I think is the only thing you can possibly do, looking at how they're performing as a team.
They conceded 31 goals in the first 22 games of last season, so they're more than halfway to the total goals they conceded last season.
Yeah, they're 2/3 of the way there, almost in 1/3 of the games. That's dreadful.
And they scored 41
That's
goals.
That's no good.
From those goals, so they're also quite a bit away from that.
Yeah,
But yeah, they still have time.
Yeah, but it's, they still have time. But if they want to make use of that time, then it's time now to. That's the thing about having time, is that you can't keep wasting it. I would like to see them. Yeah, I don't know, but inevitably when I speak in any positive way about IA, they're just gonna not do what I want them to do. But that's their decision.
Yeah, it's true.
If they want to be these contrarians, then we can let them. Vestri losing 1-0 to Fram. If we want to just say something about them, is this the beginning of the end? If we want to be clickbaity nonsense.
No, they had a lot of chances to. This was a very Vestri kind of game. They had a lot of chances to win this, or maybe, I think 9 times out of 10, this is a Vestri 1-0 win or a 0-0 draw. It was just an absolutely comical penalty that they conceded. The guy, there was zero malicious intent. He just sort of tripped and fell into the guy. It was a clear penalty because he took him down, but it was comically bad. Sort of, yeah. So no, I think this is fine. They have some winnable games, or they have an okay winnable game against Stjarnan on Saturday before they go up against Vikingur and KR. So I think we need to see a little bit of the next few weeks. But to be honest, it's probably because you praise them so much.
Yeah, I know. Ugh, they're terrible, and I hate them, and I think they're going to do poorly.
Exactly. So let's praise some other players instead and see if they fall off a cliff.
Yeah, I've always loved FH, and I think they're great at football, and I think that they're a great club that's run by good, honest people. I've always loved, for example, Valur. I've always been a huge fan of, a really, really great club. One of the big, giants of Icelandic football. They can't take a wrong step.
Yeah, we'll win the league probably.
Definitely, easily. And Breiðablik and Víkingur, they're above Vestri. It's so deserved. fantastic group of players, great spirit, history, pedigree, honestly. So that's deserved right there. KR are terrible. Vestri, awful teams.
Deserve to go down.
Yeah, easily. Like, it's not even a discussion. It's. I say this all day. I say this to people I've never even met before.
It's true. I do. That's the one thing you hear from people who have met you is that that thing, and then the bees XG thing.
Yeah, absolutely. They've all heard that as well. Speaking of the bees knees, shall we speak of the players who were the 3 stars?
3 bees. Yeah, I think Benjamin Stokke, for sure. We praised Bestadeildin. I think they deserve a little bit of praise. Let's not be too bitter. People will be focusing on other players, on the people who scored the winners and stuff. But I really think that Stokke, that Benjamin deserves a ton of credit for, because those 2 finishes weren't that. Especially the first one was insane. It was, and just those 2. I mean, the first goal already gave them confidence, and then the second equalizer really kick-started that comeback. So he's looks to be a different player. It's maybe a huge mistake that Breiðablik have let him go.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, like we said, Breiðablik are so awesome that it doesn't matter who they let go. Speaking of another awesome team, Kjartan Kári for FO getting a star. I mean, to be fair, 2 goals and just an overall menace. So, I mean, for a team like that in the place that they are, you need a player like that in form. And you need him firing, which he was. So, deserved star there. No?
Yeah, for sure. He's FO look to be going. I think they've had a few good performances now. Even the loss against Vikingur, sorry. So they look to be on a roll now. Let's see if they can keep this going. And let's praise Fram a little bit. It wasn't maybe the most exciting win in the world, but I think Vuk Oskar has had a bit of a star coming. So it's a bit of a cumulative star. He had another good game, and he's just honestly been keeping Fram afloat. And maybe a bit of a tough start to the season with some injuries and a lot of changes and stuff. So it's I think he's a player that FO could have maybe held on to, because he's had a very good start to the season.
And if we look ahead now, the games today is the 22nd. Game starting tomorrow, 23rd. There's one game, KR Fram. So let's see how that goes. Whether KR can bounce back or whether Fram can build on what they did. I'm obviously going to predict a runaway victory by Fram. It's obvious that that's what's going to happen. So let's just. There's no point in even watching it. See how that one plays out.
No, exactly.
Then on Saturday we have almost all of the other games. We have Valur, IBVF, fantastic teams playing there, and KA Afturhelding playing away against KA. This is something to watch. Will Afturhelding finally be good away from home, or will KA cave? Time will tell. We have Vestri Stjarnan, obvious win for Stjarnan there, no question. Honestly, there's some of these games are just why even watch them? Just put on your accumulators and just go to bed. It's fine. Vikingur Ía, easy win for Vikingur. 8-0 first half, and then they'll rest. In the second half, just another 7 goals in the second half, no problem. And then on Sunday, we have the final game, FH Breiðablik, absolute giants of Icelandic football. Reykjavik derby, kind of, except FH apparently isn't in Reykjavik if you ask people from Hafnarfjörður. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how to, go about describing a game like that. Italy, it's the sort of, 2 amazing teams which will both score 20 goals per game, but also neither one of them will concede any goals. So it'll be some weird, timeline splitting affair, this game. Amazing game.
Yeah, so we know what games to watch and what games to completely skip.
Yeah. Let's see if our vibes make any difference this time around, eh?
We put it into the universe.
Exactly. So yeah, action-packed weekend. Enjoy. We will be back in the new week to discuss all of these. I mean, we might as well just record it now because we know exactly what's going to happen. But we'll drop it next week, and you'll see how prophetic we are, two veritable Nostradami. And on that note, see you next week.
Bye.